All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Scimone, and this is New Era's webinar for building a chat flow in under 30 minutes. If you are joining us this morning, hopefully you were able to join our first webinar where we covered kind of building a voice flow in 30 minutes with the Webex Contact Center solution. Today, we're going to go a little bit past that into kind of the Webex Connect solution, which is part of the Webex suite and plays really nicely with the contact center kind of in front of it. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But before we get into that, I wanted to kind of do the standard intro and let you guys know what we'll be looking at today and who you'll be talking with. So today we are going to build the chat flow like I mentioned. We've got a pretty simple agenda. We're going to make introductions. We're going to talk about building that chat flow in the grand spirit of cooking shows on TV. There will be some parts that have been pre-baked, and we'll point those out to kind of get us through it. Tula Cedar, Kadam Reddy, and Ann Lozier are going to be helping us today. Once we have covered that, we're going to come back and talk about kind of how we approach, getting your logic and your business system needs kind of into these platforms. And then we're going to talk about how we use adoption services to facilitate that approach, cover any questions, and then we'll get you back to the rest of your Thursday. So here's the team you have today. Myself, Chris, I'm part of the collaboration architect practice in New Era Technology. You have Tula Cedar, Kadam Reddy. He's one of our system analysts and part of our dev practice. And you also have Ann Lozier, one of our developers who's part of our dev practice also. For folks who may be new to New Era, this slide gets updated about every 2 weeks as we continue to grow organically and through acquisitions. We are now up to about 80 plus offices, 4,500 employees, and spread fairly wide across the globe at this point. One last housekeeping note before we move on. If you do want to get that sweet waterproof speaker and power bank, you do need to fill out the post-event survey so we can know who you are and where to ship that. All right, and guys, that's all the housekeeping I've got. So I wanted to give Tulasi and Ann a little bit of a framework before I hand it over, because Webex Connect is pretty cool and plays in a little different space than the traditional contact center piece. So it really gelled for me when I started to think of it as almost two middlewares kind of put together, right? It's bringing in channels, it's bringing in backend systems, and it's essentially the orchestration and the engine that lets you cleanly do cool things between those two. And I took a little screenshots here kind of our demo environment to show you, those are really the building blocks. You have, app and number assets, and then you have kind of integrations and service connections that you tie together and use to deliver kind of, the digital actions you need to be successful. It's extremely scalable, compliant, and quick to extend. This was a Cisco acquisition from IMI Mobile, and it's been turned into the Webex Connect platform, and it's really been embedded very cleanly with the contact center, which I think you guys will see today. So with all of that said and kind of laying the groundwork for the building blocks, I would like to pass this over to Tulasi and Ann and let them kind of get into the meat of the demos because we don't have a ton of time to do it. So guys, ready when you are.
Thanks, Chris, for the head start. I will be given a nice intro, or something like I'll show what pieces we might need with Webex Connect for successfully building a live chat experience to the contact center. So it starts with the Webex Connect, creating a service within a Webex Connect, and the applications creation within a Webex Connect and all. So before that, let me share my screen. Sorry. Okay. So this part is like a Webex Connect. You're currently having a look. So if you go there and you've got the services, so we've already created this upfront. So just for this demo purpose, so you're gonna start with creating a new service and hitting that and saving it. So we have TR demo stuff for now for chat demo today. So we have the flows and stuff in here. So this is one part, and so we have an agent set up within a Webex Contact Center management portal that's been already set up for easing things off today. So we have like entry point set up, queue set up, and all within the Webex Connect Center Management Portal. And once that's done, we will be going to the Webex Engage from the Webex Connect Center Management Portal. We have like a new digital channels that will take us to the Webex Engage, where we will be integrating creating the Webex website widget and all, where like, let's show it to you guys. Like we have TR demo stuff in here, and we have website, like here we can always like configure like how the chat form needs to look. So something like this. So this can be configured in here. Once that's done, you can copy this particular HTML code, and then that can be incorporated within a web service onto
So
your.
that's the part we turn over to the webmaster to essentially embed and get the live chat button.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So once everything's configured, like let me show like how the flow is being created and then configured. So this flow has been got from Cisco GitHub. So, and we have configured that according to the need for this demo.
So the key thing that's nice about what Cisco is putting on the GitHub is it's pretty much this pre-filled form, and then Tulasi is going to show you which nodes you just go into, touch, and update based on the entry point, the chat form, and the queue you want it to go to.
Yep. Okay. So we have like the app configured in here. Like we have like an incoming message, and that says like there's a customer that's waiting for you. Okay. So once that's created, like we have like the templates that's been created within a Webex Connect that can be incorporated with the flows. So if you select the pre-chat form, there's an option. We have like a form template, the TR demo. We choose this and save it, and it then goes to the receive option. That's where agent receives the message from the customer that the customer is waiting for the message. So the TR demo template has been incorporated in here. And from here, it goes to the task creation, where the chat is being routed to the available agents based on their skill levels and availability. So we have create task, the task been created, and we just want to make sure like what data is being populated, like the user ID of the customer. It shows the name of the customer, the email address, and stuff. So that's been saved. And from there, we will be selecting the queue the chat is being routed to. So we have queue already been set up within a Webex Connect Center Management Portal that's been integrated with this particular flow. We have like a TR demo queue name in here. So it's a drop down. You can select the queue and then save it. It's been already set up for making things fun. So if that's success, like the chat will be popped to the end agent, and the agent can be accept the chat and then show it to them and like start conversation with the customer. So
Tulasi, you're a little faster than I am, so let me recap kind of the pieces you hit. You talked about the entry point.
Yes.
You talked about the template you're assigning to the entry point. You talked about the Webex Connect service and pulling down the flows for specific channels. You updated those specific channel flows with your entry point and your template info, and then you pointed them to the right chat queue that you and Ann created in the contact center side already. Is that okay? Perfect.
Yep. Everything's covered. So once that is set up, the chat will be popped over to the agent. Agent can accept the chat and then start the conversation with the customer. So with that said, like there are a few things like just to point things like I will start with the services and everything's done. Service setup and then application is set up within a Webex Connect. And within a Webex management portal, we will be creating the entry points and then the queues and setting up the agent with the proper skill set and then agent profile. And within a Webex Engage, we will be configuring the Webex widget where we will, we'll be configuring how the chat form needs to look for the end user. And once everything's set up, we will be integrating the queues and then Webex Engage website and all stuff with the flows within a Webex Connect. And that will be published over to the web servers. So And with that said, I will pass it on to Anne, who will be giving the little demonstration how the chat works.
Okay.
And one of the cool things I want to point out while Anne's taking over, guys, is if you notice the Webex Engage, where you control that template and entry point that's tucked into the contact center interface outside of the Webex Connect scripting interface that Thule was in. That's really nice because once we as kind of administrators, developers, partners get it set up and flowing through, your business unit still has access to the front end chat entry point to kind of tweak the flow, the rules around that entry point, the attachments, websites it goes to, some of the things you saw around that setup. So it's a nice split of kind of keeping the parts of Webex Connect that the business wants to quickly modify, tweak to get additional information from a form, for example, in the business's hands, while keeping some of the deeper flow architecture kind of back behind the flow engine. So sorry to interrupt, Dan. All right, take it away.
No problem. No problem. Can you see my screens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this here on the left is just a demo website where a customer would come in and say, okay, I need to speak to an agent. And I'll click on the chat button. And I've been doing some testing, so I have previous chat back history there. But my name is Anne, and my email is ann@test.com. And I need help on the WebXCC admin. I'm going to click that to send the message, and hopefully my agent will get it. Yep, my agent got it. I can see that somebody named Anne is on the queue of TR demo, and I'll accept it. And I get the information, how do I get to the information? Let me get rid of that. Yeah, okay. So now I see everything that the user filled out on the form. So we could have put in, questions asking for their account number and things like that. And I think over here is where I want to go. No. Forgive me, I'm not an agent, so I don't know all the. Somewhere I should be able to get to a point where I can copy these.
Yep, you're right there. It's at the top. If you mouse over that customer and name, you'll see the little. Yep, you see the little
okay, there.
copy buttons.
Thank you.
So really fast and easy to kind of get information to an agent that they can then grab and use. And we'll talk a little bit more about our crawl, walk, run approach as we're moving things over. But this again, using kind of the canned entry points, filling out a form, grabbing some basic info.
We can also have
from the form into the agent.
We can also put in, canned messages that the agent can send right away. They don't have to type all this in. It's there. They can select that from the template. It shows up on the customer site.
And if you hit that button again, one cool thing with the templates, that template button, you can see here, it can be specific for global templates. You can do demo templates by team, and you can do specific to channel templates. So you see at the top, she's got the 3 tabs underneath the search engine. You can customize those and make it so you have different options for your agents to quickly respond. And again, these can be across different async channels. So it makes it a really consistent experience for your agents and your customers. And that's a theme that you'll find that I think Cisco's done a lot better than they get credit for. These experiences, these channels for agents, for customers, they're really well done. They really have a consistent feel to them, and that helps with agent context switching throughout the day. Lets them focus on the problem instead of managing the fact that their interface, looks different and acts different every different type of task they get. Sorry, Ann, I get excited about this part of it. I apologize.
No problem. That's great. I think that's that. And then basically we're done. And when we're done, we click on the end. And hopefully this will work. And it comes up with the completion codes. So these will be the same completion codes. Oh, actually, wait a minute. There's one more thing I want to show you. If I can find it.
Oh, you already sent it out. You were going to show transfer consult, I think, Ann. It's okay.
Yeah, transfer consult. Yeah, did it. But yeah, that's it. The transfer process is the same as it is for voice or for anything else. You just click on the button, select another agent, and it would either go to them or you can bring that other agent in to consult.
I think the key thing to take away from an agent perspective is it keeps the channels, the async channels, looking very consistent, how you receive them, how you use the information from them, how you communicate back. it keeps the wrap up consistent, and it keeps the transferring and moving and consulting around. And those are a big part, of an agent's day, right? If you can give an agent kind of their task in a consistent interface that they can kind of, you're done learning the interface day one, and you're on to solving problems, And once you've learned chat or another async channel, if they bring in SMS, it's very similar. One of the great things we didn't get to show today is that when you start bringing in SMS, even though the customer's seeing all those messages like, reply, stop, or end, the agent doesn't see those in their chat interface. The system's smart enough to abstract those messages out, so the customer just sees it like a normal looking chat to them, which makes it very quick for them to process and handle. And again, the learning curve from taking live chat to SMS to email to any other of the other social channels, the WhatsApp and Facebook integrations, they all start to look very similar to agents. You have the data, they're different. You can, queue and skill agents appropriately, of course, but from the agent working throughout their day and the supervisors that manage them, it's just an amazingly cohesive and homogeneous experience. And that carries through to the wrap codes. My favorite part is that the same wrap codes, that we had for the calling side in the 101 demo are the same one Ann's had here to select when she was done with the chat. So that's one of the really cool things that we like about the platform. Again, it just, we talk a lot about customer experience, and that's a huge part of it, and the ease of implementing the business logic we want as business stakeholders. But the agent having a great environment to work in day in and day out, that makes a difference, and it's only been getting better in Cisco Webex Contact Center. So I am going to, Ann, thank you very much. Anything
You're
else,
welcome.
Jalasi and Ann, before I steal and punish folks with one or two more PowerPoint slides?
No, I don't think so. I think the only other thing is that on that flow template we showed you, that's just a standard flow template that sends the caller directly to the agent. You can obviously put in more logic in there. You can do an HTTP request to an API to get the customer's info, do things like that. But this is just a simple, quick demo to show you how easy it is to get things started.
That's our development.
Templates can be shown if needed.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was saying the template creation can be shown if needed, like we can customize the templates based on the team name, and we can customize the templates according to the chat form or something while developing.
Yeah, it's extremely extensible, and again, I think Cisco does a really good job of kind of putting the business side logic in the contact center, in the engage piece, and leaving the kind of scripting in the flow engine, where it makes sense. In my mind at this point, you've got a little bit more developer programmatic access here, and you've got the business able to manage the entry point, manage the queue, manage the routing in the engage side. So the last thing I wanted to talk about with you is two things. Kind of, we covered a lot of ground just in this demo, and if you're somebody who's looking at either not having omni-channel or having a simpler version where there's not as much opportunity for integration and logic, we understand that not everybody starts at the same point in their kind of contact center or digital transformation journey. So we are definitely somebody that we have the scale now and size that we're able to help folks who are just beginning and folks who are kind of a little further on their journey and looking to kind of take it to the next level. So this is roadmaps and consulting kind of outcome-based roadmaps are something that we've really been focusing on lately, and we've seen a lot of success because it helps customers kind of plan out the mountain they're climbing together. These things take time to kind of complete these journeys and get all the data where you need it so the backend systems can cleanly roll it up to CPaaS type solutions. So we just want you to know, if you're out there and you're wondering, we've got a big journey to start. We can help you in the early phases of planning, and we can help you execute some of the more technical pieces when you're in the 201, 301, and kind of the master's class level of your contact center. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys is a peek at kind of how we it's easy to say we do that when we kick off a project. How do we kind of help continue to do that when we have, once the project's done and we're in a managed service world or a lifecycle support world? This is essentially how we do that. We use adoption services as part of our lifecycle contracts and our lifecycle services vehicles. to help make sure, you obviously need vendor engagement and break fix support where that applies, but we want to just make sure that you're able to get to the resources you need and the tasks you need quickly and easily through our customer success practice. So it's a really flexible way. We've really taken Cisco's kind of flex licensing to heart and tried to mirror our services around that model, right? We want to make it something that you can get to the right service at the right time, flex to it if you need it. And, then as you don't need those services, you can take things over. You can use us in a rate card or service catalog activity model. We're really trying to be the partner that is flexible when it comes to supporting your growth and your journey into the cloud. With that, guys, I'm out of slideware. I think I've got a fancy Q&A slide. If there are any questions, I'll figure out, while you guys are typing questions, I'll hop over there and figure out if I've got any already. This takes me a minute, so let's go find these buttons. Here we go. Right. Yes, so we've got some questions. Do we have help desk using this? Absolutely, we do. And what type of licensing is required for this? These are great questions. So some of the advanced channels require the agents to be a premium agent. But for the channel we saw today, live chat, email, and voice, those are part of standard agents. So your standard agent licensing is okay. And then what Cisco's done with Webex Connect is a really cool kind of pay-per-use model. So it's really easy to grow into a channel, grow into an experience, make sure you're getting the revenue from it. And if you're not, you can turn it off and you're not stuck with a huge spend. So it's per interaction in Webex Connect. And then there are certain channels like SMS, outbound, and inbound that have additional telco rate card use fees. So simplest way is your agent license covers it for 3 channels. Your premium agent license covers it for the other 16 that are coming down the pipe. And then the Webex Connect interactions are pay per use, and some of the channels have a 0.3 of a penny for an outbound text SMS minute. And Cisco has a whole rate card that when you do an order modify and attach this to your Flex instance, all of those SKUs pop up in the kind of order modify, so you can see them, plan for them. Cisco also has calculators that we use for partners that are really curious and trying to calculate spend in these areas. So that's how we get to them. Agent licensing and pay-per-use for Webex Connect and tied to the contact center. Once you get past a huge model, and we're talking 100K plus transactions a month, Cisco and your partners should be talking to you about committed models, which can get you a little bit a better price point as you commit to larger piles of transactions. Does that cover your questions, guys? Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Those are the 2 questions I see. Anything else, guys? I really appreciate your time this morning. If you have any questions, comments, things you want to see in our 301 demo, let us know. We're shooting for that sometime early this summer. And as always, a little contact information. Please reach out to Tony, myself, our new Era team as a whole, if you have any questions, comments, want to see more or learn more about Webex Contact Center or Webex Connect. Kristen, anything else today? Doing good?
All good. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys.